Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, as I bring you the richest female rappers of all time, ranked by net worth. That means how much money, shmoney they have. So we're going to start out with those who are ranked the lowest on the list to the one who sits at the pinnacle, at the top, with the most bread in her baskets. Let's start out with number 14. Today, we're going from 14 to 1. Number 14, we have Remy Ma. Oh man, one of my favorite. So Remy Ma, it says, was born on May 30th of 1980. She is from New York, and her net worth currently sits at $4 million. Shout out to Papoose, her husband. He used to get his hair cut in a barbershop that I used to work at in Brooklyn back in the day. Anyways, Remy Ma, she was discovered by Big Pun. Remy Ma is best known as a member of Fat Joe's Terror Squad. She saw some success from her debut album. From the jump, she was jumping. There's something about Remy based on a true story, which peaked at number 33 on the charts. However, Remy Ma is best known for her appearance on Love and Hip Hop New York. That's in present times. Those of us who've been around for a minute, we know Remy for way other types of stuff, both in the streets and in the industry. Let's just put it this way. Remy was that bitch. You understand what I'm saying? And not using bitch in a derogatory way either. She was top dog. And not saying she's a woof woof dog, but you know what I mean. So in addition, she partners with brands like Fashion Nova, Dark and Lovely, and she does her shows and all that, collaborations, and she got so many other things going on. And that's how she gets her money. Totaling out, as of 2023, at $4 million. I know you're saying that's not a lot of money, but I know most of the people that's saying that don't have 1 million. Number 14, we're looking at Cash Doll. I don't know why they put Remy Ma and Cash Doll at number 14, but I guess it's because they share the same net worth. So Cash Doll was born March 14th, 1992 from Detroit, Michigan. She pretty much has the same amount of money as Remy. Her real name is Arkesha Knight. She is known as Cash Doll. She became famous through social media when she was invited by Drake, who spotted her on Instagram to open up for him on his Summer 16 tour in 2016. Ooh, 2016 was a year. A year later, she appeared on Big Sean and Metro Boomin's single So Good. In 2018, she released The Vault through streaming platforms. One music video from the record, which was called For Everybody, has over 82 million views on YouTube to date. Since then, she has collaborated with Lil Wayne, Iggy Azalea, and some of the biggest names in the industry, solidifying herself as being on the list. Cash Doll has appeared in the FX series Empire and has a reoccurring role in the hot new-ish called BMF. She also collaborates with brands like Fashion Nova, MAC Cosmetics, and Foot Locker, and that's just a part of how she gets her bag. Okay, so they went from number 14 to number 13. I think Cash Doll should have been at number 13 because she got her money in a quicker time than Remy did. However, let's move on. So number 12 on the list, we got Doja Cat, right? Doja Cat, born October 21st, 1995, from Los Angeles, California. Doja Cat sits at a $8 million net worth at the moment. Doja Cat, aka Amala Ratna Zandile Lamini. That's her real name. I just call her Doja Cat. I like that better. She is relatively new to the music world compared to most of the other women on this list, but she has already found great success. I don't know, she just has that thing about her. And I ain't talking about how she looks. I'm talking about how she crafts a song and how she performs. Her 2018 debut studio album, Amala, which is after her first name, was a bit of a sleeper. Many people slept on it, but the single Say So from her album Hot Pink went viral on TikTok the following year, and it ended up reaching top 10 on a US Billboard 200 chart. It was followed by the 2021's Planet Her, which reached number 2 on the Billboard charts and spawned several top 10 singles. I don't know if you know what it feels like to have several top 10 singles off of one album, but that means a whole lot of ka-ching, ching, ching. Tour dates booked out back to back, all the big events. Everybody says you're hot. Who is hot thinks you're hot, and all that. So that means money in the bank. Doja Cat has collaborated with Pretty Little Thing, Adidas, Pepsi, and she's not only a rapper, but a known fashion icon as well. In 2023, she appeared at the Spring-Summer Schiaparelli covered in 30,000 red crystals placed on her face and body. It looked crazy. It actually looked like she was an alien. They're called Swarovski crystals. I can't pronounce that. But anyhow, you know what I'm talking about. So when she did that, people saw her and I saw her and I was amazed. I'm like, yo, that's what's up. That's different. You know, I know sense in being like everybody else. Be yourself. So Doja Cat, with an $8 million net worth, sits currently on the list at number 12. Now, after Doja Cat, you got Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion shares number 12, or probably is number 11, born around the same time, February 15th of 1995. She hails from Houston, Texas. Her net worth currently sits at $8 million. Yes. Megan Thee Stallion, or Megan Javon Ruth Pete, she was already famous by the time she and Cardi B collaborated on that big song called WAP, or Wet X Puts. You already know the rest. In 2020, a very controversial song and video that took them straight to the top of the world. But it was that song and accompanying controversial music video that placed her in the rap stratosphere. Out of space. Megan has released multiple successful songs and albums. Her debut mixtape was called Fever. That was released in 2019 and it peaked at number 10 on the Billboard 200 charts. She has also collaborated with big brands like Fashion Nova, Savage Fenty X, Rihanna's Joint, and Coach, to name a few, which has added significant riches to her wallet, because you know all the money ain't coming from just rap alone. Number 11 on the list, you got DJ Spinderella. Yeah, man, DJ Spinderella. I'm talking about Salt and Pepper, DJ Spinderella. She was born August 3rd, 1970. She's from another time, from Brooklyn, New York. Her net worth currently sits at $10 million. Yes. Now, many people don't remember that Salt and Pepper started as a 3-person group. Spinderella, aka Deirdre Muriel Roper, she was the 3rd member, mostly serving as the band's DJ, but also a rapper and a music producer in her own right as well. She joined the group in 1987, and together the women saw massive success with hits like Push It, Push It Good, Let's Talk About Sex, Baby, and Shoop, Shoop, Shoop. Spinderella left Salt and Pepper in 2019, citing that they were having some disagreements over the compensations and her contribution to the group. They wasn't cutting the cake evenly with the slices, so she threw up her deuces and she was out of there. Today, Spinderella makes TV appearances and she does live DJ sets. She and the group briefly reunited to get their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2022. Number 10, we have Eve. Eve, that roughneck female. Well, that's how she came out anyways. She ain't that no more. Pitbull in a skirt. Eve was born November 10th of 1978. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Eve is currently sitting on a net worth of $12 million. Yes. You may remember Eve from her hit 2001 track, Let Me Blow Your Mind, with Gwen Stefani, for which she won a Grammy for Best Melodic Rap Performance. Now, over her career, she released multiple chart-topping albums and songs. Her debut LP, Let There Be Eve, Rough Riders First Lady, peaked at the top of the charts upon its 1999 release, and it was certified double platinum a decade later. Additionally, Eve has ventured into acting, appearing in the big old classic movie Barbershop, Triple X, The Cookout. She also has her own series called Eve that ran from 2003 to 2006. Plus, she has her own fashion and cosmetic lines, and she has made money through endorsements and sponsorships with brands like Martini and Rossi, along many others. Shout out to Eve. Number 9 on the list, another OG in the game, born March 28th of 1966. We're talking about Salt, man. So you saying who is Salt? Salt from Salt and Pepper. Push it good. Push it real good. She was born in Brooklyn, New York. Her net worth sits currently at $14 million. Cheryl Salt James was another third of Salt and Pepper, the group, the legendary hip-hop group. The group was formed in 1985, and it was one of the first all-female groups to achieve massive success. James and her bandmates paved the way for other women in rap, selling 15 million albums worldwide, which earned them the title the First Ladies of Rap. I bet y'all didn't know that. And I bet you today, who else has sold 15 million albums worldwide? We're not talking about 15 million streams. We're talking about 15 million albums back in the day when an album was like $10, $15 for an album. Okay? So in addition to music, Salt actually owns her own TV and music production and movie production company, and she still does music. It's actually called Salt Entertainment Group, and she also has appeared multiple places on TV herself. The new generation might not even remember that she's a member of Salt and Pepper. They might just see her on the screen and think, ooh, who's this good-looking woman? Well, that's Salt and Pepper. She done paved the way, right? Or that's Salt. The next one on the list is Salt's homegirl, Pepper. So you got DJ Spinderella, you got Salt, and you got Pepper. And it seems like they have split the money equally, right? So she was born November 9th of 1966. Guess where she was born, fam? Kingston, Jamaica. Yeah, she got like $1 million more than Salt does. So Salt on the list sits at number 9. And then you have Pepper sits on the list at number 8. But here's the thing. Yes. Salt on the list. Let me get it right. Sits at number 9. And then you got Pepper on the list, sits at number 8 or 7, somewhere in there. And yeah, she's from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. Who would have ever thought, right? Her net worth currently sits at $15 million. So all the Salt and Pepper sisters are in the money, for real, the shmoney. They're living good. We weren't kidding about that First Ladies of Rap title, she said. Aside from her massive success with Salt and Pepper, aka Sandra Denton. That's such a typical Jamaican name. Sandra Denton. Big up yourself, my girl. Sandra has dabbled in acting and other things. In 2005, she was cast on season 5 of VH1's The Surreal Life, and later on The Surreal Life Fame Games. She also starred in the iconic HBO drama series called Oz as Officer Andrea Fallon, and promoted the biopic of Salt and Pepper on Lifetime with her bandmate Cheryl, who is Salt. This is Pepper, right? Big up to them, Salt and Pepper. Number 7 on the list sits at a whopping $15 million as well, and she's pretty much tied with Salt. She was born June 7th, 1990 in Sydney, Australia. And I'm talking about none other than Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea first gained fame on YouTube before signing to a record label in 2014. Her debut album, The New Classic, featured massive hit singles like Fancy and Black Widow. Now, in addition, Iggy Azalea had made money through brand endorsements, partnerships with companies such as Levi's, Revolt, Fashion Nova. She's appeared in movies and TV, and she has served as a judge on the Australian version of The X Factor. Iggy Azalea sold her masters and her publishing catalog to Domain Capital for an unknown 8-figure sum in 2022. Her next album comes out in 2023. Until then, she can be found on OnlyFans, where she made a whopping $4.2 million in her first 2 weeks on OnlyFans. Damn. Anyhow, number 6 on the list is Bad Baby. Bad Baby, she was born in 2003, March 26, just the other day, and she already at number 6 on the list. Please remember, we're starting out from number 14. We're starting out from the lowest, going all the way up to the person who sits at the pinnacle. Number 6 on the list, Bad Baby. Born in Boynton Beach, Florida, so she's a Florida girl. Her net worth currently sits between 20 mil and $52 million. Okay? Do you remember the Catch Me Outside? You remember that girl that got on TV? I think she was on Dr. Phil. She was like, "Catch me outside. How about that?" That girl who appeared on Dr. Phil in 2016. Well, people thought, she ain't going nowhere. She just some little white girl trying to be hood, emulating hood black girls. Well, she turned that experience into a very lucrative rap career, my friend. Bad Baby, whose real name is Danielle Bregoli, she signed a record deal with Atlantic Records, and she released her debut single, These Helks, Heaux. Kind of a play on the word hoes. In 2017, it went to the top of the charts, and it made her a star instantly. She has since continued to release hits such as Hi Bitch and Gucci Flip Flops and Bestie. She, like Iggy Azalea, also has a successful OnlyFans. When she first joined the platform, the 19-year-old earned $1 million in her first 6 hours on that platform. Now, while reports show that her net worth is currently at $20 million, she claims that her net worth is now more than $50 million due to her success on the content creation site called OnlyFans. Remember, she earned $1 million in 6 hours. They had a big discussion about that. Even she herself was saying, some of the guys that came on OnlyFans, they were people who needed to be locked away because she had just turned 18 when she went on OnlyFans. I mean, she got on OnlyFans a couple of hours after turning 18. And she thought, yeah, these grown men looking at me, I just turned 18. I'm not that far from 17 and 16. So what are you seeing in me? However, she took the money that was generated from them creepy ass old men that were tuning in, and she made over $1 million in 6 hours. Anyways, number 5 on the list, we have Big Lizzo. No pun intended. Lizzo was born April 7th of 1988. Remember, she is number 5 on the list. Lizzo is from Detroit, Michigan, and her net worth currently sits at $40 million. I'm talking about a big old 4 and a O. $40 million. Yes. Get it, Lizzo. Now, Lizzo seems to be everywhere as of late. She's a rapper. She's a singer. She's a flutist who has also taken the world by storm with hits like About Damn Time, Good as Hell, Juice, and Truth Hurts, among other instant classics. Her body positive image and her empowering lyrics continue to resonate with her fans, both young and old, as she tours the world spreading her special charm. She also made a whole lot of money through brand endorsements and partnerships with people like Uber Eats, Absolute Vodka, and Amazon, in addition to her successful shapewear line that is called Yitty. That rounds her off at a $40 million net worth and number 5 on the list. I know you're wondering who's at number 4, because now it's getting sweet, right? Now we're getting to the top. Okay, here we go. Let's get it. All right, so number 4 on the list is none other than the legend herself, the innovative, the creative, the beautiful. We're talking about Missy Elliott, man. How should I say it? I'm trying to look for the words, because when you talk about people like Missy Elliott, you got to come correct with your words. She's been copied. She's been Xeroxed. She has been, I don't know. I'm going to leave that one out. Okay, so Missy Elliott sits at number 4 on the list, okay? Missy was born July 1st of 1971. So she's a 70s baby from Portsmouth, Virginia. All the way from Portsmouth, Virginia. Her net worth currently sits at $50 million. Missy Elliott. Missy, or Misdemeanor Elliott, she has released 6 successful albums and has collaborated with the likes of Aaliyah, Ciara, and Janet Jackson. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Missy has dropped 6 platinum albums, meaning all her albums went platinum. I think some of them even went double or more platinum, right? That's a feat within itself. Anyways, she's collaborated with legends like Aaliyah, who's no longer here with us on earth, rest in peace. Ciara, who is now married to Russell Wilson. We're talking about the great Janet Jackson, among a slew of other people. If you were around back in the day, like in the 90s, and you remember when Timbaland and Missy had this game on Smash, you already know. Okay, so she's also a producer. She has written and produced songs for icons like Whitney Houston, like Mariah Carey, like Beyonce. Now, aside from her musical endeavors, Elliott has endorsed brands including The Gap, Doritos, Mountain Dew, among others. She also has collaborated with Adidas and Marc Jacobs, among a whole host of others. In early 2023, Missy Elliott was nominated for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because she's just that great. It's what it is. And then in comes a queen at number 3, UNITY. Who you calling a bitch? We talking about Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah was born on March 18th, 1970 and sits at number 3 on the list. Ooh, it's getting good. We're getting to the top top. So she's in the top 3. She was born in Newark, New Jersey. Her net worth was 70 or is currently $70 million. Golly. Queen Latifah is sitting on some serious bread, y'all. Queen Latifah, she began her career in the late 1980s and she released several successful albums, including All Hail the Queen. Then she put out Nature of a Sister. And then she put out Black Rain. If you notice those album names, we lived in a different era back then. Back then, females or women, they weren't calling themselves bitches and hoes. Me and my hoes finna go party tonight. Me and my bitches getting down. I'm a boss bitch. They weren't doing that. They referred to themselves as queens and sisters. You understand? So it's funny to see us today how they flipped the script, because Queen Latifah came out with, who you calling a bitch? Well, now they ask to be called a bitch. Anyhow, she's been seen in movies such as Hairspray, Bringing Down the House, Chicago. Oh man, why would they forget the classic, which they are about to. Remember that movie where Queen Latifah pulled off the caper, the robbery? Anyway, I'm not going to say the name. I want you to say the name in the comment section below. When she appeared in Chicago, she actually won Best Supporting Actress Oscar in 2006. So not only is she a music legend, she went into the acting world and won an Oscar. I didn't even know that. She's also appeared in several TV shows and is currently the lead actor in the series that's called The Equalizer. Go see it. The Queen has endorsed brands like CoverGirl, Pizza Hut, Jenny Craig, and others. Putting that money together, my friend, that money sitting at a $70 million net worth. Number 2 on the list, we're talking about the richest female rappers of all time. Number 2 on the list, you have none other than the young gunner, stunner herself. Born October 11, 1992. We're talking about Cardi B. Cardi B hails from Washington Heights, New York, and her net worth currently sits at $80 million. $80 million. And I'm predicting that she'll be in $100 and something million bracket pretty soon, with all the brand endorsements going on, that large fee that they command for all businesses done and all that. And then she's married to Offset, and their relationship seems pretty empowering for both of them, right? They're going through a little rough patch right now because they lost a real family member. Shout out to Takeoff, who's no longer with us, off the Migos, which was a real brother. But, you know, the show must go on. So, Cardi B currently sits at number 2 on the list with a $80 million net worth. Now, as Cardi B says, she makes money moves, okay? Money moves. She first gained popularity on social media as a stripper turned reality star in the Love and Hip Hop New York. Her music, songs like Bodak Yellow, which blew the roof off the industry, Invasion of Privacy, and then WAP, which she did with Megan Thee Stallion, I Like It, and Up, has sold millions each and sits on YouTube with millions of views each and has gone on to sell millions of streams globally. Primarily still a rapper, Cardi B has also acted in films, including Hustlers, if you haven't seen it, and F9, if you haven't seen it, The Fast Saga. She also collaborated with fashion brands such as Balenciaga and Fashion Nova. You can credit Cardi B as being one of them for bringing Fashion Nova to the front. So I'm pretty sure that Fashion Nova check is fat as hell. like I asked. Anyhow, she and her husband Offset recently collaborated with McDonald's for Valentine's Day with the lunch of the Cardi B and Offset meal. I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on trying it and giving a review so I can tell you what it's really like. But remember, we don't have the same taste buds. So what tastes like doo-doo to me might taste like gourmet to you. Cardi B sits at number 2 on the list with a net worth of a whopping $80 million. And then the queen of the pack, the bad Caribbean girl from Trinidad. Y'all already know who I'm talking about, man. We're talking about Nicki Minaj, okay? Nicki Minaj was born December 8th of 1982. Nicki Minaj hails from St. James, Trinidad and Tobago. I guess that's why Jamaicans claim her too, because we have a St. James in Jamaica too, and it's one of the most ton up places in Jamaica, my friend. It's the place where most tourists goes to have fun, and it's the place because Montego Bay is in St. James, you understand? And it's the tourist destination type. And it's also where a lot of bad man and scammers come from. So St. James and Trinidad, I don't know. But anyways, if you ask a lot of Jamaicans, they'll say, yeah, Nicki is an honorary Jamaican. But she really hails from Trinidad and Tobago. She the one that said Caribbean girls run it. Ask Riri. It ain't no joke. Look at Rihanna's net worth. But Rihanna is not on this list because she is not a rapper. Anyhow, Nicki Minaj's net worth currently sits at a whopping $150 million. Ooh-wee! Hey, man, I know a lot of guys who wouldn't mind being her stay-at-home husband. I stay home and take care of the kids and, keep the house clean and to handle your business from this angle. You go ahead and tour the world and make that money, mama. Because $150 million, I don't have to work outside for anybody, right? I'll just be employed by you. What it is you want is what I do. Anyhow, Trinidadian American Nicki Minaj is the most successful woman in hip-hop. She has sold more than 10 million albums worldwide. We're not talking about streams again. Slow down. Please have a proper understanding. We're talking about album sales here. Again, when albums cost $10, $15 a piece and even more, an average of, she has sold more than 10 million of those. This is not to include her streams and her views on YouTube and all that other stuff worldwide. And she has collaborated with artists like Drake and Ariana Grande. She's from the Young Money family, man. We're talking about the GOAT, okay? Lil Wayne and all the others. So she has pretty much collaborated with some of the hugest names in the industry. Plus, Nicki Minaj has her share of brand endorsements as well. Some of the brands that she has worked with includes MAC Cosmetics, Pepsi, Beats by Dre, that's just to name a few, Fenty and H&M, and even launched her own fashion and beauty line with Kmart and MAC Cosmetics. In March of 2023, her new single, Red Ruby Da Sleaze, debuted at number 13 on Billboard's Hot 100 charts, her 44th top 20 hit since 2009. Man, they're gonna need wings to catch up because she just so fly and all the way up there when it comes to this rap stuff. Alright, but Cardi B is right on her heels though. With that $80 million compared to that $150 million, that's the 1 and 2. Now there you have it. Okay, and again, shout out to workandmoney.com for giving us the list of richest female rappers of all time ranked by net worth. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.